Hi, this is Nancy Reynolds, an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Bellingham, Washington. And I'm going to just see if I can get myself on screen. That's why I started a couple minutes early. I hope you're going to oh, look, there I see me. This is a good thing. So I'm going to adjust it. Sorry if you see my arm moving around. I am adjusting it so I can see comments. Excellent. I think we're here. I do not know why it's going live as a fundraiser. It is not a fundraiser. I must have pressed something wrong when I went live. I do apologize. Just ignore that top part in the comments. I'll see if I can fix it when we're done. But, oh, hi Shirley. I cannot get closer to the table. This is as close as my stand will let me go. And I have not figured out a way to make my phone zoom in. Nope. It is just not going to do it. So I will hold things up and I will apologize for this little problem. I will move the light so it's, oh, I guess it's still shiny. I don't know why. Anyway, we're going to get started. Hi, Susan. Nice to see you joining. This is our card, and I'm going to hold it up so that you'll be able to see it better. And I will hold it up step by step, but I just can't zoom in. I just love how Facebook has changed, and don't quote me on that one. This is a Z-fold card. Isn't that cool? And the front and back are not attached. So this is what we're going to create today. I have done some of the work ahead of time because, well, I worry about time. I don't want to encroach on anyone else's time. So I've pre-done the sentiment, thinking of you. I have cut my mechanism. It actually goes this way. So see, a Z-fold. A little lopsided Z-fold, but still a Z-fold. This is going to be the inside of the card where you write for your sentiment. I will put something on here because I did not like it plain. And this attaches to the front of the card. Oh, thank you, Susan. I'm going to credit entirely this paper. I love the Gallery Blooms Designer Series paper. So we've got a piece. I'm not going to give you dimensions. I hope you want the PDF because it's going to have the links to YouTube. As we know, Facebook has changed. And because it has changed, we have to punt. They delete the videos after 30 days. So they stay on YouTube. We'll have a link in the PDF to our YouTube video so you can still go back and look at it. Here's our matte layer, is white. I did change the ribbon on, oh, I didn't use the sweet ribbon on the card. Mossy Meadow. So we really have 3 layers that are going on the front, plus an embossed layer. And this is the Damask embossing folder. It's not a 3D folder, but isn't that pretty? See if I can get that so you can see it. There, that's a little bit better. And then our front and back of our card, it's a regular card size. So this is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, but we've got 2 of them, one for the back and one for the front. And of course, I've got the envelope that we will decorate. So let's get started here. The first thing I can do is, you know me, I don't like to have a whole lot of things in bits and pieces because I do tend to lose them. So let's get our glue out, our liquid all-purpose glue, and put that on the front of our card. And I don't know about you, but I love white on white, especially white embossed on a white card base. Looks like it might be just a little bit wonky. Not a lot, but a little bit. It also looks like I need to change my blade. And you can do it a couple of ways to even those out. I just ran my finger over it and it took care of it. But you could use a sander, or you could use, a lot of times I just take my snips and I line it up and I just line right here and cut off the fuzzies really easily. Okay, so there's our front. We're also going to put together these 3 layers. Although we're not going to put them on the front of the card yet because I'm going to, against better judgment, I'm going to try and tie a bow on the card. Now my sample turned out really well. I was pretty proud of myself. If you weren't here before, just ignore the donation. I must have pressed a button incorrectly while I was trying to figure out how to go live on my phone. Not on my page, but in the group. It's confusing. So, here we are. As I said, I love this paper. If we have time, I will show you all the other patterns. Okay, here we go. And, okay, let's try the ribbon. Let's tackle it first. Let me grab my ribbon scissors. I have my water bottle there, so, I'm going to turn my water bottle to closed. Because if it falls over, I really don't want water all over the card. You might have noticed that water and cardstock do not go well together. Now, there are people, and I am so pleased when I watch them, and so impressed, who do tie bows and do it beautifully and easily with the perfect amount of ribbon. Well, I do not. I have to have extra ribbon, and I stumble with it and fumble, but it is a pretty look. And so I thought with this gold striped ribbon, which is pretty easy to work with, it really is, that I would give it a try. Let's see, I have to hold this down. Here's a cheat, a little cheat tip, that if you have some tweezers, you can use that to hold the ribbon. So there we are. See how nicely that's holding? I'll just bring it up to show you. We'll see what I'm going to do with this. Okay. And then I'm going to tie a bow. And I will have ribbon left over. I know that, and that's okay with me. Sometimes I can't quite grab it, so I'll just use my Take Your Pick tool, or I'll use a pair of scissors and reach in to help me grab. And as I pull it, oh, well, that didn't work. I lost my original little bow. I don't know if it's having big fingers or it's having a little arthritis in my fingers, but this is not always easy for me. Well, good thing I'm doing this early, because the rest will go together very quickly. Well, that's my hope anyway. There it is. If I could get both sides at the same time. I think I still needed a little bit more length in the ribbon. Okay. I know you're all pulling for me. Almost got it. Almost. And this is why I use a bow jig. Okay, taking this out. There we are. We have a bow. And then you can kind of fuss with it. You know, you can pull your ends down. Depending on how big you want the bow, you can adjust the sides. Make sure it gets pulled tight though. And when I get it, I should have tied it upside down. For some reason, when you tie upside down, it makes the little ends go in the right direction. But I think we can get it. We'll pull this a little bit. Lay this down. And once I've got it at least pretty much the way I want it, I don't like it jiggling around and moving. I want it to stay right where I put it. So I grab a glue dot on my Take Your Pick tool. I don't know, I think they should have named this Take My Pick tool. Because for all of us, it is ours, after all. And I just stick it under the bow, the knot, make sure it's all covered, get it situated, and then I'm much happier. So here we are. This needs a little more of an angle. Oh, wrong scissors. I don't know how I managed to dull my scissors so quickly. All right, there we are. We have a bow. A round of applause, yay. Putting some things away. I used Mossy Meadow on the sentiment, and so I may as well put the sentiment on right now. And this is the one place I'm using dimensionals. One side is good and one side wasn't. This is the not good side. So here we go. And we'll put that on just down here. I was thinking this would make a great sympathy card or a get well card. And then we're also going to use dimensionals on the back. And this piece is just a little bit smaller than normal. So I thought I would just try with 5 little dimensionals. Oh, I already took that one off. And here we are. And we can just put that right on the front of our card. And the reason it's a little smaller is so we can see the beautiful embossing and the white on white elegance. Now, let's work on the back of our card. Here we are. We've got the Mossy Meadow piece to go onto our back of the card to set off that white. While I like white on white, really the Mossy Meadow with this paper in it sets it off so beautifully. You could also have used Old Olive. That would have been pretty. So here's our back, and this is how, we're not putting it together yet. We're gonna do a little bit of stamping now. And from the Gallery Blooms, I picked these flowers. See, this is just too plain. It did not do anything for me. And this is what I wanted to show you. Here's my tip. Normally we use Memento ink. I am going to use Memento ink, but in a different manner. So let's set that aside. I purchased the white pigment ink pad. It comes uninked. And then I took my refill from Memento ink and I turned the white pad black. what I did was if you want to try this, so you can get the pad and the ink refill from your demonstrator who invited you, but just put some ink on, smush it in till it turns black, and then take it and close it up and let it sit overnight or a few hours. And then test it to see if you need to add more ink, because you don't want to add too much, but you do need enough. I just may have added too much, but that's okay. I'm just going to stamp, and I'm going to, and I should have something under it. I don't know why I didn't bring my, but see how nicely that stamps? And you can also take the ink to the stamp if you wanted to. But I just think I get a better outcome with the ink. I think it's darker, it's thicker. I just really like that. As long as we've got the stamp and the ink out, let's do our envelope. I thought about doing the Designer Series paper on the envelope, which would be really pretty. But I'm being stingy with it. So I decided that instead of that, we will just take the stamp, ink it up, and put it on the envelope, front and back. And I am fine with a little bit hanging over onto the front if that happens. Just makes it look interesting. So there's our envelope. We're putting away the ink before I get it on myself. Do you guys do that? Get ink all over yourself? I am very good at it. So what I am going to do is I'm going to attach this piece to the back of my card. I'm getting that out of the way since we're done stamping. And I'm just going to fold it up and line it up, centering it as best I can. Needs to come just a little bit this way. Looks like I might have been a little off on my cutting of my Mossy Meadow, because I think I had a little bit more room. Now, before we attach the front, let's grab our Wink of Stella, because I see flowers, right? And what's the flower rule? They need to sparkle. It also makes them look a little less plain. And so a little Wink of Stella on the flower petals, I just think that adds a lot. I know it might just be me, but I do like a little sparkle. And even if it spreads the black just a tiny bit, I think that's okay. Now, you can also do that on the envelope. And I'm usually not quite as careful on the envelope. But it's just fun. And you can do the back too, which that's your choice. I'm going to skip the back this time. Well, that's not the cap. This would be the cap. That was my take your pick cap. I'm going to fold it over in a moment. I just want to make sure, I mean, it dries really quickly. It's an alcohol ink. And I'm going to put a little bit of my glue on the small flap. And then here's the fun part. You're going to hold that hopefully without getting your finger all gluey. And you're just going to even it up so that your card is flat. Is that not an easy card? I just think that's so fun. Now, I will say that on this one, I put the pressed flowers, but I think I would be happier with something a little shinier. See, this is cute, and I can see where my embellishments are, but with the gold trim, see there's 1, 3, and the gold trim, I just think it needs a little bit more sparkle. So I am going to change the plan last minute. Nope, that's not it. Grab my basic jewels and basic rhinestone gems and my Mossy Meadow. I think my Mossy Meadow Dark blend. And that is not, I will add this change to the PDF because I will be happier with it. Love these little pockets. It fits my embellishments so nicely. Okay. If you're very, 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 very careful, you could use your brush, but it's hard on the tip. So probably the best bet for coloring these is to use the pen end or the smaller. It's just a little stronger. It holds up better. Might take a little more coloring. These don't look quite as dark, but they'll be fine on the card. Do this one more time, just to make sure. And again, we're using an alcohol ink, so it dries fast. Okay, let's see which one we like best. Sure, if I put this one on the white up here, and then I can do the 2 smaller ones on white down at the bottom. Okay, so here we are. We have our finished card. Which one do you like best? Let's see if they both get on here. The rhinestones with the sparkle or the pressed flower motifs that are part of the suite? Let's see. I think I like the rhinestones. But then I do like sparkle. Perhaps if I was sending it to a man, because it could be a man card, right? They like flowers too. I know my husband really did. And it opens up. You can stamp a sentiment in here. You've got lots of room to write. And there we have a Z-Fold card. Yay. So I'm glad you joined me today for our card. I wanted to show you the papers. We've got a couple minutes. The suite is on pages, I think it's a really long, actually, section. Starts on page 52 and ends on page 57. So we've got lots of ideas that are fun. There's a frame in the Beautiful Motifs stamp set, or die set, which I think is going to be fun to use. But right now, see, Shirley, thank you for my bookmark with my butterflies. I appreciate that. Shirley Meitzler. Here is the paper. And to be honest, I absolutely love this paper. I think that my favorite is this one up in the corner. And this is the back. So the front, you've got the full picture of it here, and the back of it. Not sure what I'm using this one for. And there's the back of it. I've used this with the Peaceful Tree. Now I don't remember the name of it, but it's the big tree background stamp, and I embossed it in black over this, and it's really pretty. This is the one we used, and the back is a map, which I think could be fun. Another scenery. I think this would make a nice accent. But I love the 4 flower pages. And it is a great DSP. Here we have the embossing folder. But see how big it is? You've got the 2 stamp sets, 2 die sets. These 2 cut out completely, and these make give it dimension because they only partially cut. So you've got dimension on your card. The pressed motifs, the pressed flower motifs, the folder, and the ribbon. So it's like a whole package. And it's just a fun one. So what I used this stamp out of Gallery Blooms, the sentiment out of Beautiful Motifs. I used the folder. On one of them I used the embellishment and the paper. So I hope you enjoyed it and that you make this card because it is a super simple card to make. So our original, the one we just made, and I'm going to say thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a great rest of the weekend. We have sunshine and it's lovely in the Pacific Northwest. But until I see you again, happy crafting.